Hello, hello, hello. What do you add? It's Paul from Wicked Acorn. For a fella that works from home, I have a very complicated life. I I haven't been able to get a shower all day because our shower is broken, and I've been waiting for the guy to come and fix it, and I haven't had a chance to look at my hair. Is it okay? So I haven't I haven't had a chance to do any grooming. Not that I do a lot of grooming, but I usually do a little more than this. And I'm still in my dressing gown because I was hoping to get a shower, but that's not going to happen. At least not a nice warm shower. Anyway, such is life. Uh, what are we looking at today? I got my overhead camera here. I'm working on another mosaic, another one of these Oasis mosaics, and somebody wanted a second one of these made, and the colors are actually reversed here. It's black where white is, and vice versa. I wanted to do a one like this, but just something to change it up a little bit. So, Astrex, if you're watching, I used your chop saw to make this piece of plywood, this piece of backing for this mosaic, and it worked well. Now that sound is back. Why is that sound back? That sound comes and goes. It's a strange thing. I haven't figured that out. There's that bloop sound every time I press a key. It doesn't do it all the time, so I can't figure out why it does it. Intermittent, like our shower. So hopefully the shower is going to be mittent instead of intermittent, and I'll be able to get a shower after this live stream. Anyway, today in history. What are we talking about today in history? Today in l'histoire. Uh, 1, 2, 3, 4. You are absolutely right. We'll get to that in a second. We got our. I'll show you our next "Where Is It" photo. This one's going to be a little more difficult, but it is very close by us here in Sale. Very close by. But I don't know if you'll recognize this because it's a drawing, and up here in the left-hand corner is the name, so I had to cover it up. So where is it? It's a drawing, and I don't think it looks like this nowadays. I don't think these street lamps, I don't know. I don't think it looks like this nowadays, but that looks like 1993, but I guess it's Dane Road. No, it's not Dane Road, but it's not in Sale, but it's very close by. Okay, so that's our next "Where Is It" photo, and I'll show you it again before we leave today. So today in history, the 25th of September, we are looking at the Battle of Stamford Bridge. Happened this day in history on the 25th of September, 1066, and we all know about that. It was the English army under Harold II defeats invading Norwegians led by King Harald Hardrada and Harald's brother Tostig. And it happened today, the 25th of September, saw King Harald II's English army defeat an invading Norwegian force led by King Harald Hardrada and Harald's exiled brother Tostig Godwinson. The battle resulted in the deaths of both Hardrada and Tostig and was a decisive English victory, though it significantly weakened Harold's army for the upcoming Norman invasion just weeks later at the Battle of Hastings. Decisive English victory. Hardrada and Tostig Godwinson were killed, and the Norwegian army was largely annihilated with very few survivors. I can't remember the numbers now, but they came with like hundreds of ships, and the survivors went back in like 2 or 3 ships. So the English army really trounced the Vikings, and it was the end. It marked the end of the Viking Age. It's often cited as a symbolic end to the major Viking influence in England and a turning point in the end of the Viking Age itself. Despite his victory, Harold's army suffered heavy losses and was exhausted, which proved costly. Led up to the Battle of Hastings, which is what, October 9th or 10th or something, somewhere around there. The battle's aftermath was crucial to the subsequent Norman conquest. King Harold had to march his depleted army south to meet William the Conqueror's invading Norman forces at the Battle of Hastings less than 3 weeks later, leading to Harold's death and the Norman victory. So things would have really turned out differently had he not gone to fight this battle, I think. So, Sale Road, no, it's not in Sale. Northern Moor, not in Northern Moor. So the photo from our last Where Is It? You're absolutely right, 1, 2, 3, 4. It is Victoria Bridge. It's a stone arch bridge. So we go from Stamford Bridge to Victoria Bridge in Greater Manchester, in between Manchester and Salford, crosses the River Irwell. So that's what our video is going to be about today. I wanted to show you one other thing. Is that going to make that sound? Yes, it is. I don't know why it does that. It doesn't do it all the time. What was I going to do here? I wanted to show you Stamford Bridge because it's funny. Here's Stamford Bridge and here's Manchester. And I've really become one of you because what's that? I don't know what that distance is. It's no distance at all, but now it seems like a long ways to go. But it's no distance at all. It's just, I don't know, what's that, a couple of hours maybe? I don't know, but I wouldn't think twice about doing such a drive 10 years ago when I lived in Canada. I wouldn't think twice about it. That's York Minster. There is a photo of the existing Stamford Bridge. Here it is. This is what it looks like today. I have to get another setup for this. Yeah, you guys can't see it. There you go. That's what it looks like nowadays. I have to do another setup for this screen. That's on my list of things to do. So today's video, the video we're going to look at today is regarding, it didn't make that sound then, is regarding this bridge, Victoria Bridge. The bridge replaced an earlier medieval structure, and that's the one we're going to talk about today. Well, we're not going to talk about the bridge so much, but the event that happened this day in history happened on the bridge that the Victoria Bridge replaced. Salford Old Bridge, which dated from the 14th century. The Old Bridge was built on the site of an ancient ford from which Salford took its name. So Salford, you may have heard me mention before, Sal is Salix, and Salix, that's this guy. That's our little mascot, Salix. He is an acorn. He's a wicked acorn, which is not the correct tree for Salix. Salix is the willow tree, the sallow tree. Salix alba, I think, is the common willow. And that's where both Sale and Salford get the Sal part of their names, is the Salix or Salix. So Sale and Sal Ford. So it's the ford by the willow trees, or the willow ford. That's where Salford gets its name. The old bridge was built on the site of an ancient ford from which Salford took its name. Contemporary accounts of its design are complimentary, but by the 19th century its narrow construction was viewed as an impediment to traffic, and it was demolished. Construction of the new bridge began in 1838, and it was completed about a year later at a cost of about £20,800. Good morning, Astrex. I was just showing the mosaic I'm working on, and I used your chop saw you gave me to cut this piece of plywood, and it worked great. Thank you very much. Where were we? It was opened to traffic on the 20th of June, 1839, the Victoria Bridge, although Queen Victoria did not visit it until October 1851, and that's a photo of her crossing the Victoria Bridge, apparently. So there is our photo for the next live stream, our next Where Is It photo. And there's Salix, our mascot, who's the wrong kind of seed for a willow tree, but I thought it was a cool name. Salix. He looks like one of the Guardians of the Galaxy characters. He looks like he could fit in one of those movies, one of those Marvel movies. So we're going to look at our, it did it again. See, why is it doing it sometimes, but sometimes not? Anyway, that's a problem I'll have to sort out later. Okay, so we got a video about something that happened this day in history, the 25th of September, 1642, on the Old Salford Bridge. Is that what it was called? Where the Victoria Bridge is now. So I'm going to go over to my YouTube studio, and I'm going to unlist this video and make it public right now. So there you go. Our video is public, and we're going to watch it. It's the Siege of Manchester. It happened this day in history, the English Civil War. Very interesting. The very first casualty of the English Civil War was in Manchester. Manchester.
Despite its relatively small size in the 17th century, it played a significant role in the English Civil War in 1642. It was one of the few towns in Lancashire to rally in support of Parliament against King Charles I. Manchester was mostly Puritan. The merchants and business owners saw Parliament as a way to secure a degree of control over the taxes they paid. They believed in a system where power was shared, not concentrated in the hands of a monarch. Manchester's role in this conflict was marked by bloodshed from the very beginning. The royalist Lord Strange had taken control of most of the northern towns, but the inhabitants of Manchester resisted him when he showed up on the 15th of July. A skirmish on Market Street resulted in a standoff as Strange tried to seize the town's cannons and powder. Richard Percival, a linen weaver, became what can rightfully be called the Civil War's first casualty. As tensions escalated, the town found itself under siege. On September 25th, 1642, Lord Strange decided to have another go at Manchester, this time commanding a few thousand royalist troops. His demands for the town to surrender its gunpowder and weapons were met with defiance. The defenders, under the leadership of Robert Bradshaw and William Radcliffe, received crucial advice from a German military engineer hired by Parliament on how to fortify this unwalled town. Even when the mercenary was offered a substantial bribe by the Royalists, Colonel Rosworm stood by his principles, declaring that honesty was worth more than gold. In true Manchester fashion, the 7 days of the Royalist presence were marked by relentless rain, relentless assaults, and relentless determination. Strange's untrained army was losing heart. The Royalist Captain Standish fell to a sniper shot from the church tower, adding to the chaos. On September 30th, another desperate attack ensued, but the assault failed in the face of barricades and smoke from burning barns. When the smoke cleared, it was obvious that the Royalist assault had been repelled. Strange lifted the siege on October 1st. It was still raining. The parliamentarians declared, "You came with fire, but God gave us water." According to the victors in Manchester, the battle's toll was evident. The Royalists suffered around 200 casualties, while the defenders only lost 4.
So that is a very famous painting of the Siege of Manchester, and that is the bridge.
Along with what they called a strange boy who was gazing about him. There were no further hostilities in Manchester throughout the war. Following the victory, Manchester became the hub of Parliament in the Northwest. Lord Strange proved to be an ineffective military leader. His tactical blunders would continue, and he would eventually meet a tragic end, losing his head in 1644 for his command of Royalist forces in the Bolton Massacre. With the eventual triumph of Parliament and the execution of Charles I, the town was rewarded with its first Member of Parliament, Sir Charles Worsley, a local gentleman from Platt Hall in Fallowfield. However, the political landscape shifted dramatically under the rule of Oliver Cromwell, ushering in an austere Republican era. When Charles II was restored to the throne in 1661, his coronation was celebrated extravagantly. But Manchester paid a price. In an act of petty vengeance, the town lost its right to have an MP. It would be nearly 2 centuries before Manchester had political representation again. The reign that had plagued Manchester during those tumultuous days finally ceased on October 2nd, 1642, the day after Lord Strange lifted the siege.
There you have it. This day in history. Can you imagine? Couple of things in that video we actually might touch on tomorrow. Lord Strange, one of the first mentions of Crossford Bridge is Lord Strange crossed over Rivers Mersey on his way to Manchester at Ashton upon Mersey, is one of the notes from history. And that is something that will be, I think it's mentioned in tomorrow's video. That might give you a clue as to where that photo is. So that is our photo tomorrow, and we're going to have a look at that one. And is there anything else we need to talk about this evening? You missed our quiz yesterday. 1, 2, 3, 4 did okay. She got a couple right, or at least she answered a couple on screen in the chat. And so I think on Wednesday we're going to do the weekly quiz of this week in history. So that will be a Wednesday thing. So if you have any suggestions for things we can do that would add to our live stream here that you would like to know about, or that I could look up for you or find, I guess I got to hello world peace, or is that goodbye world peace? Either. But we are just about done. If there's anything else we need to talk about, you can leave a comment, and I have to wait a moment to see if there's anything else to be said. That is our photo for next time. Where is it? Yes, you have a lot of things to do, don't you? Yeah, you missed the quiz yesterday, and it's something, I think we'll do it on Wednesday or maybe Friday. I haven't decided yet. It might have to float around a bit. I haven't got this all ironed out yet, how we're going to do this live streaming thing. Just keep doing it till we figure it out. So there's not much else I can tell you about Carrington. Would you like to know something about Carrington? I don't know much about Carrington. You caught up on replay. Okay, but you can't join in when you're on replay. But, oh, that's what I was going to just show here. Everybody who's watching here. is on board with all this. Oh, that's your guess, Carrington? No, it's not Carrington. Just, will this work? Yes. So anybody out there watching that doesn't do this, please do in the future. You just hit that like button, and I think over here is a subscribe button. I don't have one because this is my channel. I can edit the video and look at the analytics. But yeah, you can share it and all those kind of things, and leave a comment. Thanks. What am I going to call you guys? I'm going to call you guys Skeets. I'll tell you about Skeets someday. But those people, the drawing, yeah, no, it's not Carrington. No, but it's close. There are not many more close places. Close. So we'll leave it there. And I have to figure all these things out, and I have some more things to work on here. So, see, it's making that bloop sound again. I have to figure that out. So, one last look at our Where Is It photo. And we shall leave it there. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. We'll be back again tomorrow at 6:30, I think. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for dropping by.